Hello and welcome to MakeLive Monday. So glad to have you guys here joining us. We have a very special artist here. Her name is Amber Wyand, and she is a balloon artist. I know nothing about this art form other than it's amazing. It's full of joy, and I would love to introduce you to Amber. Hi, Amber.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
So good.
Good.
So Amber, just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah. My name is Amber Wyand. I'm sorry. I'm trying to post the link on my Facebook so that people can join in if they want.
Yes, please do. And ask questions.
And ask questions, yes. So I am a balloon artist, balloon twister, balloon lady. I don't know. You could call me all sorts of things. I'll answer just about anything. And I have been twisting balloons for a few years now. I've been in business. I'm going on year 6. I picked it up about a year before that, so probably about 7 years of twisting balloons. And I originally learned when I was about 10 from a book. My sister had gotten a How to Twist Balloons kit. And, and she never did it. And I was bored one day and found it and shared a room. And so I learned how to make just about every one balloon animal that I know. Well, not know, but a lot of the basics. Qualitex, who was the big balloon producer at the time and had a lot of these kits, they would send a book and it would walk you step by step how to make a dog, how to make a sword, a parrot. I remember that one. And so I learned a lot and then didn't do a whole lot with it for a long time.
Yeah.
But I've worked with kids over the years and it would occasionally pop up. Like when I worked for Chick-fil-A, they're like, we're doing a kids festival and we're going to twist swords and flowers. And so, I would occasionally use it. And then in 2019, I was volunteering with CASA of the River Region, and they were doing a back to school event. And they were like, we really wish we had some more activities. And I was like, oh, well, I know how to twist balloons. And so I went online and went on YouTube, Google, and I found some websites that were kind of like the book where it would walk you through steps. Shout out to, I think it's Balloon HQ. That's a very old school one, but you can still see a lot of that information, still a fountain of knowledge. And then, of course, YouTube. And so I learned a few more animals, and I went to that event. And somebody from that event hired me to do balloons at their event, and then I just kind of kept getting asked to twist balloons at random things, and sometimes I would ask, like a friend was doing a birthday party for her husband, I'm like, can I bring my balloons? She's like, yeah. And so I really enjoyed it, I was good at it, and I was like, okay, am I going to keep doing this, or am I going to drop it like every hobby I've ever had? And, realistic questions here. And I found out that year, Twist and Shout, which is an international balloon twisting convention, was coming to Louisville. And so I felt like it was a sign. I went. I had an amazing time, just opened up a whole new world of possibilities. I met people from all over the world, from Israel, from Japan, from China, from different countries in South America, the Bahamas. I made some great friends, and I decided to start my business, and I've been twisting balloons since. So
what a great story.
Yeah.
I was going to say, until you went to that Twist and Shout, I was going to say ballooning sounds approachable.
Yeah.
Because you had a book.
Yeah.
And you YouTube some stuff.
Yeah, it is very approachable. It is, you can get kits on how to twist balloons. You see them all over, especially in the kids section. So it's something that is easy to approach. Books are a great resource, of course, at the library.
Yes.
And then with the advent of YouTube, I feel like you can learn anything. And I mean, what's the harm with balloons? Nobody's going to die, hopefully. And so it is I feel like it's a very easy hobby to get into because there is so much information out there, and the supplies themselves are not that expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, a pack of good balloons is probably going to run you $5 to $10 depending on what you purchase. And then like pumps, I started with the traditional green and pink Qualitex hand pump. It's a dual action, so when you pull on it, it pumps air out, and when you push it, it pumps air out. So I couldn't find one to bring, and I forgot to grab one before I came here. But that's what I started with, and learned very quickly that I did not want to do that for every event, because I do like 4-hour events, and that's going to take up a lot of energy. So I actually upgraded to a floor pump, which
Look at that.
a single action pump. So what that means is when I pull up the lever, it's not pushing any air out. All the air is being sucked into the chamber. And then when I push down on it, it pushes the air out. And so these are great because of the size of them. Usually, depending on the brand, you can get almost a whole balloon inflated, or at least like 75% of it. I think this one does, if I go all the way up,
Oh, wow.
it does the majority of the balloon. So it only leaves about 3 to 4 fingers of balloon. So it makes it very quick. And then there are also electric pumps.
Yeah.
And electric pumps are great too. That's a really, it speeds things up. It's not as fast, in my opinion, as using a floor pump, but the wear and tear on your body is not as high. So there are trade-offs, and there are people that will kind of progress through and like do floor pumps for a while, and then they'll eventually get over to electric pumps if they've been doing it for a long time. Some people go straight to electric pumps. I think cost kind of depends to what you want to spend. You can get some good electric pumps for $60-ish, so it's a good, like, it's not your $10 hand pump, but it's not outrageous. Floor pumps, because it's so niche, they are a little more expensive, so they range in price right now from about $200 to $250. There are 3 producers of floor pumps that I know of right now, so I apologize if you make floor pumps and I didn't get you. The one I have is a MakeLive. I do not believe that Mac produces them anymore. But there's Filbert the Clown. He's been a long time producer of floor pumps. He has a little bit of a backlog, so it can be hard to get one from him. And then there's Aircraft Pumps, and they have some really cool options. He has one called the Smoothie that's like, it's like butter. It takes the least amount of effort.
Yeah.
It doesn't blow up as much in the balloon because it's a little smaller, but the effort to what you get is pretty good. And then he has like these giant ones that will blow up 350s, which are bigger balloons, in like one pump. And then there's Pro Pumps, as the newest guy on the block, and his are about $200. And I'm interested to get one from him. I have one from Aircraft. I never was able to get one from Filbert, but I have friends who have them and have used them. So,
is Filbert a real clown?
Yes, he is a real clown. A lot of the people who actually produce things for the balloon community are either clowns or magicians.
That's amazing.
Or balloon. Yes, there's a lot of overlap in our communities. Filbert is a clown. Ron Fowler, Flower Clown is his clown name, and he is a really big producer of items for the balloon community. He owns Bagaloon, which is a fair trade company. So he has a manufacturer that he works with in Nepal, and he basically helps support their family. They help support their son through college. He also, through that, works with a nonprofit that trains kids in a local shelter for street kids who don't have families. They actually teach them to sew so that when they graduate from that program, they have a marketable skill. They can go out and get a job. And he makes balloon bags. I can take this off here. So I have this on a Zuka cart, and it helps.
Look at that.
I didn't think about this beforehand, y'all.
Well,
But
it's a camera team of one.
Yes. This is a bag-a-loon bag, and this is like the holy grail for balloon twisters. There's also Rob Balchunas also makes bags, the Balchunas bags, but Ron is who I ran into first, and so he has my allegiance. I apologize.
How many balloons does that hold?
Thousands. So many. I have my balloons in my bag, and these are my main twisting balloons, and then it has pockets all over it that you can put your rounds and your hearts and your prints in. So like, there are some balloons that are pre-printed with like, this is a little baby face, so I make baby dolls. And that just speeds up on your marker work if you're doing line work. I do a lot of line work, so I like having prints to use. As far as...
And what are these clips here on the...
Oh, here on the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are balloon cutters. Well, they're ribbon cutters is probably, if you've seen them outside of the balloon world, that is what we use. But it makes it easy to, if I blow up a balloon and I make something with it, I don't know what I'm going to make here. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
Not make that the correct way, but oh well, it's gonna work. I can use a balloon cutter, and I actually have one.
You're wearing one.
I'm wearing one. So these are, you guys are getting all of the vendors for balloons, but I love talking about this. So this is from Joe D. He does 3D printing accessories for balloon twisters, and he's made a lot of really cool stuff. So like the Zuka cart setup of a bag, and then a Zuka cart is a branded cart, but they're like metal frames, and so they hold a lot. That's a really popular setup for balloon twisters, and he has created a ton of accessories to go with them with the 3D printer. But he makes, I love these balloon cutters because it's the same thing. It's got a little blade in there, but it's just on you, so you can easily cut and adjust your size without losing your balloon. So you can also break balloons with your hands, and I do that as well, but sometimes you might have a little too much pressure and you are afraid it's going to pop because you don't have the room to do it.
I'm all the time afraid it would pop.
Me too. I had a little bit of a phobia of balloons popping for my childhood, and when I first started twisting balloons, I made a lot of interesting faces, and so I had to spend quite a bit of time in front of the mirror practicing just to not make those faces. So I can cut it, and that gives me the proportions that I need. I only needed that much balloon.
And it's like a little handle.
Yeah. Oh,
or
yeah.
This
is a little bracelet.
That's
you can use
so
this for turtles and ladybugs. So I'll put some eyes and put a line and some spots. And you got a little ladybug.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
And that's our first balloon art.
Oh yeah, I can start making stuff.
Well, tell me about all those. You have different kinds of balloons here.
Yes, different kinds of balloons. So, twisting balloons, entertainer balloons, 260s.
What are these numbers that you're saying?
Yes. So a 260 is in reference to the circumference and width of the balloon, or not width, length of the balloon, I guess. So a 260 is probably what you've seen the most. And the idea is that it is approximately 2 inches in width and 60 inches in length when it's fully blown up.
Okay.
The 60 inches, it kind of depends on the brand. Sometimes it's not quite true, but
So loose
that's the
60.
idea. So that's like what everybody kind of thinks of when they think of balloon twisting balloons. But there are also 160s.
Okay.
So they are approximately 1 inch in diameter, 60 inches long.
Okay.
And so you can see there's a
big
difference
difference.
in size. And then there are 350s, 360s, depending on the company. And those are much thicker.
Yes.
And so I like having all 3 sizes of balloons because I like to play with proportion. That's a really easy way to add variety to your balloons. So I like, maybe, we'll see. I like when I make a balloon dog, which is, everybody thinks of balloon dogs when they think of balloon animals. I like to make my balloon dogs out of 350s and make like a big fat doll. And then I will take a 160 and make a leash on it. And so to me, so you have your little balloon dog.
I don't know how it happened, but there it is.
I can walk through how to make a balloon dog. That's one of the balloon dogs and swords are where everybody starts, I feel like.
Okay.
Whenever people are like, I know how to make a balloon dog, I'm like, well, that's where I started too. We're on our way. But I'll put the leash on.
And now you can, oh.
And now,
Wow.
a leash for your
I'm
doggy.
so impressed.
But I like the difference in sizing. I think that it just adds more value.
It's more dynamic.
Yes.
All the art words. The ASMR portion of this
Squeak, squeak, squeak.
is great.
So I'll use different sizes of the twisting balloons. And then I also carry a plethora of round balloons. So I usually have 5 inches. And I'll use 5 inches for everything from eyeballs. So I'll like split them. And then you have eyeballs for different things.
That's really cute.
You can use them for faces. You can use it to add on different shapes. Another popular one that I keep some of different varying colors are link balloons. So it's the same concept as a round balloon, but it has this little doohickey on top. And so it creates a second tie-on point. And like I make a ladybug out of this, and so like I would use that as the body.
Yeah.
And then you can also use linking balloons to make bigger sculptures. Like around Christmas time, I make a lot of gingerbread houses, and it's kind of like Legos or building blocks. Like once you understand how they fit together, you can build most anything with them.
That's amazing.
And then one of my favorites is the heart-shaped balloons.
Aww.
And the hearts, Qualitex was basically the one of the first one to do heart balloons. Qualitex is no longer with us, RIP. I think Simpertex does heart balloons. I feel like Jamar, which is a newer brand, they do heart balloons. But honestly, the most heart balloons I've been buying and using have been Dacomex, which is a newer brand. In the U.S., you can only buy them from Bargain Balloons right now, but they're a great brand of...
Speaking of which,
Yes.
So are all balloons made equal?
No.
Okay.
So I tend
Buyer
to...
beware.
Yeah, buyer beware. I tend to stick to... name brands when it comes to balloons. You can buy a bunch of balloons on Amazon, but a lot of them are not branded, so it's just like random brands from China, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. And I've had a lot of people that like have tried to get into balloon twisting, and they ordered balloons from Amazon, and they're like, everyone popped, and it's like, yeah, it might be the quality of the balloon. It may not be that you're a bad twister. It's just the quality really can affect.
That's what I'm going to say happened when I tried.
Yes, exactly. It was not you. It was the balloon.
So go support your clowns.
Yes, go support your clowns. I forget which one there was a brand, Simpertex, Batalitex, and they have one was like the UK version and one was the US version, but I think in the US you could get both. And now they're under one name, and I think it's Sempertex.
Okay.
So I like Sempertex. I like Dacomex, which is a newer one. I think they're the most budget friendly, and I've had really good experiences. I've only gotten a few batches from them that I'm like, I'm just going to scrap these balloons because for whatever reason in manufacturing, sometimes a particular color, it just doesn't work out for some reason. I don't know. The metallic balloons that is one that you get a lot of iffiness. You never know kind of what you're going to get with the metallic.
But they're so
balloons.
pretty.
They are very pretty. So I put up with a lot with them.
Yeah.
But there are other brands. There's more and more brands that are hitting the market. It feels like every day. Jamar. There's Elatex is a newer one. Calisan. And some of them have been around for long periods of time, but they were just in smaller regions, and so like it seems like they're newer, but they're not. So because for so long the big name brands dominated the market.
Yeah.
When I started twisting balloons before COVID, Qualitex was the go-to, what you wanted.
She just made a sword. Guys, she made a sword while she was talking. I don't even think you looked at it.
I probably should have, but
That's amazing.
So yeah,
You can balloon and talk.
I can.
What do you get asked most? What is the hot balloon right now?
Oh, right now it kind of depends gig to gig.
Yeah.
Swords and dogs will always prevail.
Yes.
But a lot of my gigs are line work. So it's like I'm out in public in a public space, and there are a lot of people at the event. So like festivals, with spring is coming up, so there's going to be a lot of festivals. And so for those events, I will use menus. And so I will pre-pick out so many designs that I know I can make within a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I try to stick to about 2 to 3 minutes per balloon at the most. Some are way faster, some take a little bit longer because they have more balloons. Personally, with my menus, I like to choose things, one, that I like to make, because I'm going to be making a lot of them.
Yes.
Two, I go for ease of twisting so that I can keep the line moving. I really don't want people to have to stand in line for an hour for balloons, but also I can't control, how many people get in line. So I just try to stay as speedy as I can. And then, what is the biggest bang for the buck, or like the most perceived value? So if you use more than one balloon, it's a perceived value that it's a better balloon than a one balloon, and I mean, you could argue that. And also, like, sometimes when I add in the prints and stuff, like, it's just like, it's that little extra that takes it to like, this is a balloon I haven't seen before, or you don't see as often. So I use menus at a lot of public events. There is varying opinions in the balloon community about menus.
Oh.
Some people don't like menus, and they only want to go off of their memory. And some people think that makes you a better balloon twister. Oh no, my head. I keep doing this with my head, my poor guy. He's gonna be a little wonky, that's okay.
Oh.
We're all a little wonky.
Right?
Personally, I like balloon or menus because, especially at like big events,
Yes.
I think that it helps speed things up. It gives ideas to kids, because if you start letting kids ask for whatever they want, guaranteed they're going to get to ridiculous real fast.
And also, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Be like, what do you want?
Yeah, and I like to know, like, I'm going to be able to make something quickly and well, and a good product, and keep the line moving.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm at an event, like I do some restaurants where I'll twist balloons on weeknights at restaurants for kids' nights and stuff, I typically, like, I'll have menus for kids to ask, but I'll go off menu. I'll let them ask for random stuff, depending on, you know, like, how deep the line is and stuff. But if there's only a few kids there, yeah, I'm gonna make them whatever they want. So it just kind of depends. Smaller private events, I don't typically use menus. I just try to make what they ask for. So.
That's amazing. I mean, I draw, but if someone just I was like, tell me anything. I'm not sure I could just draw anything.
Well,
do you get stumped ballooning?
Oh yeah, I definitely get stumped. And I think sometimes it's more just a timing issue. Like I probably could make just about any balloon depending on the amount of time that I have. If you say, make me Slimer from the Ghostbusters,
yes.
I could do that. It's going to take me a longer period of time to kind of figure that out. So
how the pieces connect.
Exactly. Or like finding a recipe or somebody who's already made it and has made a tutorial. You know, that's popular. Just like with anything creative. Like, hi friends! There are people that will take the time to put together like how they created something and then they'll sell it for a few bucks. And I like to support other artists who are doing things and buy their tutorials. It makes my life easier than like having to figure it out. And not that I couldn't figure it out, it's just sometimes you don't want to reinvent the wheel. If somebody's already done it, I would much rather pay them for their expertise and do it. But, you know, if I only have 5-minute time while they are, you know, standing in front of me, I may not be able to pull that off as well. So that's one reason why I like going to conventions, because a lot of times they'll do classes around current themes or upcoming movies. So like, you know, like when I went, there was a new Scooby-Doo movie coming out, so we learned like a line work Scooby-Doo.
Yes.
And I think the Ghostbusters were coming out, so I learned a more line work, faster, friendly Slimer than like the really involved version that I've used for birthday balloons and stuff. So I'm not going to say I can make anything and everything, because
but she can.
If I try.
She's doing it now. Are those little antennas? That's so cute.
Hi, friend. Would you like a balloon?
We have some people in the audience.
Yeah.
Would you like her to make something? Maybe a dog?
Yeah, I can make a dog. What color would you like? Do you have a favorite color?
Green.
Green. Oh, I love green too.
Whew.
I get asked a lot when I twist balloons, do I pop balloons? And the answer is absolutely. I am a professional balloon popper, and in order to be a professional, you have to practice. But I don't always know when I'm practicing.
Can you feel when it's about to pop?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know how that one's going to work. Or like I've encountered that particular color before and know it's a little iffy.
Yeah.
And then there are times that like I'm blowing up a balloon and it just pops as I'm blowing it up. And you don't know, you're not always able to tell that that's going to happen.
It's part of the craft.
It is. We just get really good at, whoops, okay, let's move on. I do, it is a very temporary art form. It is only going to last so long. Twisted balloons have a shorter shelf life than round balloons because of the surface area. There's more surface area, so they tend to deflate faster. There are products that we have out on the market, like High Float, which is made and produced here in Louisville. It was invented here in Louisville, and it is it kind of reminds me of like Elmer's glue. It is not Elmer's glue, but it has that same consistency. And here you are, friend.
We're just making the crowd happy today.
There you go. Thank you. You're welcome, friend. And so it's like this gel that you pump into the balloon and you like massage it into the balloon, and it creates a barrier that helps the balloon last longer. And so like I've had friends that I've made balloons for that I'll see at an event maybe 6 months later, and they're like, we still have
it?
Whatever you made. Now it's a lot smaller,
sure,
but it can last. And then I have friends who walk away from me in 2 minutes and I hear a pop, you know? So it happens.
Yes.
They can last. Big sculptures, there are things that we can do to make them last longer, and they really do. Like some big sculptures can last for months and months and months.
That's awesome.
There are so many amazing artists out there, particularly right now, that are doing some really cool things with balloons. So balloon dresses are really popular, especially on like TikTok. I think of like Ronnie, the Balloon Girl. She just won her first international Twist and Shout, I think, dress competition. So she's like an international award winner now.
That's amazing.
And they're at the convention, so like a Twist and Shout, there are several competitions. There's timed competitions, so these are for like people who are doing line work and stuff, and we have I think a 3-minute competition, a 5-minute competition, and then a 12-minute competition, and a wearable competition. I can't remember if the 12-minute and the wearable are the same, but basically in that amount of time you can make anything, and you try to make the best thing you can in that amount of time. And it's amazing to see what people come up with.
It's like Project Runway with balloons.
It is like Project Runway with balloons. And then they have the dress competition. They have a balloon costume competition, so it's the same idea as the dresses, but instead of a dress, it's just like any type of balloon
wearable art,
and it's amazing what people come up with.
Have you entered? She said, not yet. Not yet.
I enjoy what I do. I'm good at what I do. I will let the true artists do what they do. And then they have these other competitions that are like there's one that's for uninflated balloons. So you make a piece of art out of uninflated balloons. And then there's a small sculpture, a medium sculpture, and a large sculpture.
Yeah.
And the large sculptures are insane. The last year that I went was last year, 2025, in Atlanta, and I'm going to say the wrong name. Dan Bellamy, I think, he did a Sistine Chapel, and it like you literally could walk into it, and then he did twisting on the ceiling of like God and Adam, and then he had kind of like scenery from the painting, and like he built that in like I think 3 days.
Wow.
And it's just insane the amount of artistry that goes into it, and what they can do. I think of like DJ Morrow has been doing full on art exhibits where he like will create an art exhibit and it'll be on display for a little bit in an art gallery. I think Dan Staples has done that as well up in Boston. And then you have people like Sam Creemans every year does a big balloon display for the state fair, you know, so
Yeah.
like you can see these all over at different places, and like high-end art. Molly Balloons does a ton of fashion, and she's like just all over the world just doing amazing things. So there are just so many good artists out there in the balloon world. Like I'm like I'll stay in my lane. I enjoy
I'm still saying not yet. Not yet.
We'll see.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I am not surprised, having hung out with so many artists, that anything can really become like this huge world of art making.
It is, and it's so cool to see just like how people use the same few twists over and over. There's only so many twists that you can use in balloon twisting, and just continuing, you know, there is a little bit of like there's nothing new under the sun, but then I'll see something and I'm like, well, I didn't think of that before. So I don't think it's 100% true, but from where balloons have gone from just in the past few decades, because I should know all of this history stuff, but there's, I can't remember exactly when twisting balloons came out, but I want to say it was around the 1950s, and it was like just straight like 260s and like these other weird oblong shapes. And just in the last 5 to 7 decades, where we've come from with what we have to what people make now, it's insane.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting elevated.
And I'm sure the community and being able to connect really help with that.
Yes, the internet is an interesting place. I always feel like I'm very awkward in person. I don't know if that translates well.
You're winning me over.
And so, like, even when I go to these conventions, like, I still feel very new to the community. Like, I'm fairly active in online on Facebook. There's a group called Balloon Twister Central, and that's like what I would say is like the big one where a lot of people are. There's some smaller offshoots from it, but like I recognize names and I recognize people, and I'm like, these people have no clue who I am. And then like in person, I'm like, I don't even know if I talk to you at the event, but I know who you are and you're amazing.
Yes.
I have personally found so many people who are willing to share information and help here locally. So Terry, the balloon guy here in Kentucky, he is probably who I would say like has been doing it one of the longest in our area. There's also Patty, the balloon lady, cousin Cozy, who's a clown, and I always forget his name. He moved right around the time that I started twisting balloons. And, but I still, like, I'll be out at events and they'll be like, oh, do you know Gilbert Adams? And I'm like, I know of him. He has no clue who I am. But I still, like, people love the people who have been here forever. But Terry, for like 20, maybe 30 years, he was the balloon guy at Joe's Crab Shack.
What?
And so, like, that's actually where I met him the first time, was at Joe's Crab Shack, and then found out that we ran in similar circles. But he has been a great friend. He has, if he can't do a gig, like, he's passed them on to me. He's
great.
helped me in pinches when I'm like, I don't have any pink balloons. Do you have any pink balloons? And just like even just working out how to do certain things. Anytime I host a jam, he's usually there, and he's a great, like, he loves sharing too and showing other people how to do stuff. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I love these nicknames. Do people just call you now like Amber the Balloon Lady?
I get called like the balloon lady a lot. In fact, I was at a career day the other day, and they had like a chart of like everybody who was there and where they were going. And my little ambassador, she was in 5th grade, and she was like, I don't see your name on here. And I'm looking and I'm like, I don't see my name either. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, the balloon lady.
It's
like,
just
I'm pretty
the
sure that's
balloon
me.
lady.
And so, and I have had a few kids that's like, when I'm at an event, they're like, oh, we've seen you at 3 and 4 events. And, and I love seeing, I recognize some of the same kids. I may not know their names. There are a few I know their names just because of the frequency, or like I see them at this specific event, but it's always fun running in, and I'm like, that is like one of my like,
it's an honor.
I would love to one day like be walking around and like, oh, there's the balloon lady, like not in my balloon clothes, you know, but like
they know
I think
you.
it'd be fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to attempt to teach us a balloon?
Sure.
Yeah. Sculpture. Was that what you all would call this? A balloon sculpture?
Sure. I call them balloon animals, and then when it's not an animal, the kids are like, that's, a sword is not an animal. And I'm like, well, you are correct, but
it's a balloon animal.
It's a balloon. I'll do a dog. And then I'll do a one-twist sword, which is probably the easiest balloon. We'll probably start with a sword, because that's probably the easiest.
We can all go home, order balloons from local clowns, and make swords and dogs
Yes.
after today.
So for the balloon sword, a one twist balloon sword. This is the fastest, easiest balloon. you
Is
can
this a
make.
260?
This is a 260. Yes.
I sound so
You
smart
sound
right
so
now.
into it. So I'm gonna blow it up pretty much all the way. I'll leave a little bit of room.
Okay,
Um,
what is that for?
Every time you make a twist in a 260, it takes about a 1/4 inch of space. So if you need to make multiple twists, like you're gonna be, I think a balloon dog is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 or 8 twists.
Yeah.
Like you want to leave enough room so that it doesn't get too tight that it'll pop
Okay.
the balloon or won't let you twist it further without adding on a different balloon.
So that's that sneaky math that finds its way into art.
Yeah.
So that space is about yay amount of twists.
Yes. So I just left a little bit of room because it really is technically only one twist.
Oh.
So what I like to do when I'm teaching this, because I've taught workshops to kids every summer, like the last 2 summers, I've been doing the Girl Scouts of Kentucky, and I
great.
do like almost all of their camps, and that's fun because then I'll have kids who did it a week or 2 before. But so for this one, I say we use our hands as measurements. While our hands are not universal,
Yeah.
in general it works. So I like to count out 3 hands width.
Okay.
And then I'm going to fold over the balloon to make a weird C. And I'm going to hold that in my non-dominant hand. And then I'm going to measure out another hand. So we've got 2 hand lengths. And I'm going to fold that over to make this weird S where you've got
Okay.
a longer part on one side and a shorter part on the other. And I'm going to take both of my hands and I'm going to use my pointer fingers and my thumbs to squeeze together and twist.
Wow.
And then you have a one twist balloon sword, and
That's
is
amazing.
probably the fastest balloon that you can make. And see, like, you can play with proportion. Like, that's a really long. I probably wouldn't make it that long. I probably should have. I don't know.
I don't know if there's a shoulda.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
You could have an epic sword battle with that.
Yes. So I'll do the same thing here, and then I'm gonna take this and
2 hands. S, twist.
so I've got green, and then I'm gonna take a balloon. I'm gonna blow it up. I'm gonna leave a little bit so I can tie it together and make a loop. And I'm gonna take that with my thumbs, and so I'm gonna hook one thumb on the knot side and one thumb here. And then I'm gonna push them together and twist it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to fold that over and basically do the same thing. So I have my thumbs here, and I'm going to find the center of the petals, and then I'm going to push them together and twist that so we have 4 petals. And then I'm going to take my sword and make a little bubble on the end.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to put that in the middle. So now we have
Stars.
a flower from a sword.
And how did you get the bend?
I folded the balloon in half, and then you take your hand and you squeeze all the pressure out of it, and then let go quickly, and that's called a shock twist. And so it basically, it causes the balloon to kind of bend,
And it just can hold
and
the...
it can hold.
That's great. That's
Um,
amazing.
Another one that I like to do along the line of the shock twist is I like to spiral balloon. So to spiral a balloon, I blow it up and let all the air out, and that kind of breaks the latex up a little bit. So then
Okay.
it kind of helps us create a
More
path
mouth.
of least resistance.
Okay.
And then
The art we're making today is creating so much joy.
and then I'm going to wrap it around 2 fingers, and so I'll take that, and then I'll blow it up.
Look at this technique. Oh,
It
what?
causes the balloon to twist. And
Wow.
then you can take that, and I like to make snakes out of this. I use this on headbands. I make fascinators around derby. That's very specific to here to Louisville.
Yes, I would wear a balloon fascinator. That technique was so cool.
And then I'm gonna split my round and make some eyes.
And then
I'm not as good at this part as some people are.
you're the balloon lady in my book.
Similar, I'm going to stretch the end of this balloon to make a path of least resistance. And then I'm going to squeeze. That actually worked on the first time.
It sure did. It's because you're the balloon lady.
I struggle with this one quite a bit. But it puts the little puff up and makes a fun little cone.
That's amazing. That's so great. And I love how, I mean, they have so much charm in life.
Yeah.
And they each have their own kind of character. I love how you can just design personality into these things.
Somewhat. So I'll do a dog because I said I would do a dog.
Okay.
So if you're gonna blow up your balloon and leave a little more than a hand's width.
Okay.
And then we're gonna take 3 fingers.
3 fingers.
Or 4 fingers.
4 fingers.
And I'm going to twist it. And so when you're twisting balloons, you always want to twist in the same direction. So I twisted towards me.
Okay.
So when I make my next twist, about 4 fingers, I'm going to stay in that same pattern. And that'll hold, as long as you're holding the first bubble and the last bubble, it won't come undone.
Okay.
If I were to try to twist it the opposite way, it's not going to hold the twist. So,
does it matter how many times you twist?
I typically twist 3 to 5 times. It kind of depends on the person and what they want to do. So you've got your head of your balloon. You've got 3. And then I'm going to lock this twist. So I'm going to take this front part and I'm going to push it through. And then that just makes it so it can't be undone.
Okay.
Unless you know how to do that. So then I'm going to take 4 fingers. Might have to switch to 3. Make a little bubble.
You're holding that other balloon still.
Yeah. Another 3-finger bubble, and then I could make another bubble and twist it in, but I'm gonna cheat here and just twist it like that. And then clearly, I should have put more air in this. It's gonna get a little tinier as we go.
It's a tiny puppy.
It's a tiny puppy. And then I'm going to leave a little bit of tail. But basically, you're just making the same 3 twists over and over and adding them on. And then I'm going to lock that tail in. Maybe.
Oh, he's so cute.
But yeah, balloon dogs and swords is where I think everybody starts. And then it just builds on itself and it can go from there. You start thinking about like, this is a really simple 4-legged body, and so like as long as you figure out a different head, so for instance cats.
Okay.
So for a cat head, I would do about a 4-finger bubble.
Okay.
And another 4-finger bubble. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock that twist. So I'm going to twist it, and then I'm going to take the end of the balloon and push it through to lock it. And then I'm going to make 2 smaller bubbles, about a 2-finger bubble to make the ears. And I'm going to pull that down and kind of push it into the center. And I'm going to grab the,
maybe I can do it close.
Oh yeah. Oh look. I'm going to grab the nozzle and I'm going to take those 2, the balloon and the nozzle, and I'm going to twist it together. So now you have a head that is more cat-like, and I'll show you the marker work is what really makes this look cat-like, because cats have triangle-shaped ears.
Yeah.
And sometimes sharper points are harder to create in balloons, so you get a little
fair.
creative.
Yeah.
But then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to make like a 2-finger bubble for the neck, and then I'm going to make the same type of legs that I did for the dog. So just 2 bubbles, come over here, do 2 more bubbles, and then push it through. And then I'm going to spread out my air and what's left of the balloon, and I'm going to kind of twist it to give a little bit of a
that's
an S
adorable.
shape. And then, so the marker work, you would just make 2 triangles up on the top bubbles, and then,
Yeah, I can close up.
and then I'm going to make 2 dots for the eyes. I like to put eyebrows. I like to put a little heart nose, and then a smile, and your whiskers. And then you have a little
It's so cute.
little doggy and a little cat,
That's
and they're roughly the same shapes.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
Any questions or any requests for specific things? Or
For our leaving balloon, could you make a dinosaur?
yeah, I love dinosaurs.
Yay!
Dinosaurs are my favorite. It's my son's favorite too. If he were in here, he would start telling you all about dinosaurs.
You would name it precisely.
Yeah, although he's gotten really into Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, and so then we have to have discussions about what is a true, real dinosaur and what is made up for the movie. I think he's somewhat getting it. So I can make a T-Rex, I can make a long neck dinosaur, and I can make a pterodon. The T-Rex is my favorite, so I'm
Yes.
gonna make that.
I can't wait.
I need to come up with a good Triceratops. That one's a little harder between the frill and the horns, like getting a good proportion for a body.
So, do you have a website? And what is it?
It's FossieLouBalloons.com. Fossie is my nickname from my niece and nephew.
Oh.
And then Lou for Louisville, balloons.com.
And do you have a gallery or?
Yeah, I have some pictures on there. I post more kind of on my Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook under the same name, Fossie Lou Balloons. I need to do better about taking pictures.
Don't we all?
I get in the moment and I never remember to take a picture, and then I get home and I'm like, oh,
I know.
should have.
The artist in us can't keep up.
So I go through phases. There's some phases I'm really on it and creating special posts for social media, and then life happens.
Yes.
Because I kind of do this on the side. I'm a stay-at-home mom during the week. I do this on the weekends and evenings when my husband is home from work, so he hangs out with our son. And then I also kind of work at his preschool, but it hasn't fully replaced my income from previous jobs, but it definitely has brought in enough income to help us survive. But I have friends who do this full time. Terry, there was a summer, I don't know if it was last summer or 2 summers ago, and he was talking about in July he had 40 events in July.
Yeah.
And that's just all he did was balloons. And I'm like, good for you. That couldn't be me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think 10 events in a month is busy.
Yes.
But yeah, there are definitely people who make it their full-time business. A lot of times, if they're doing it as a full-time business, they have something else that they're doing with it, whether that's magic or a jolly guy at the holidays or decor. So that would be your balloon garlands
Yes.
and stuff for parties. I do some decor. I do it more for friends and organizations that I work with than necessarily outside clients who are coming in, just because there are so many people in Louisville that do it and do it well. and I am more focused on the twisting.
Yeah.
That's just kind of my niche. There's not as many people who twist in our area.
I really, side note, appreciate how you just sculpted those legs. That's amazing. Yeah, it came together so fast. It's so cute. Oh my stars. I'm just the happiest today. Amber,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You've just filled my day with new knowledge, full of joy and fun, and you're just giving so much good art to the community.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you. So are there any last questions before we wrap up? Anything else you would like to add? What's a balloon lady signing off?
I don't know.
This is my last balloon. Yes.
That's great. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on Make Live, and we'll see you next time. Bye.